I know you're hurting, Brenda. I respect that. But don't ever tell me what I felt like when I thought Miranda died.
That's not what I said. You don't have an exclusive on pain, Jax. Do you know that? How do you think I feel? Falling in love with someone only to find out that he didn't trust me enough to tell me that he was married before, and he still hung up on his ex-wife, right? And I am so sorry that that's not as tragic and grand as mourning over your dead love, but it's the same thing. It's what keeps me up in the middle of the night. Pain is pain. There is no difference. So I wish that you would stop pretending like everything is just fine when it is not, just because you have some stupid piece of paper.
What is this? Heads I win, tails you lose? What do you want me to write it in blood? I love you. I don't want to be with her.
If you don't want to be with her, then why did you give her a book of poems on the day you were divorcing her? Some thoughts to carry you forward. That doesn't sound like any goodbye I've ever heard of before,
Brenda,
Jax.
don't do this.
Don't do what? She is the love of your life. Right? And don't tell me that she's not, because I heard you tell your mother that in the hospital.
That wasn't meant as a comparison to you.
How am I supposed to take it then? Because, see, I thought that I was your first love. And do you know how it feels to find out that that's a lie? Do you know how it felt for me to sit there and read the letters that you wrote her? Knowing that you've never said anything like that to me before in that way, and you probably never will.
I love you, Brenda. I promise I will never, ever keep anything from you again.
Did you sleep with Miranda when you were in Australia?
I can't believe you'd ask me that question again.
Just answer it.
My answer hasn't changed from last time. No. I didn't sleep with Miranda.
But you wanted to.
Don't go there.
Just one last time to see if the passion's still alive.
Why are you doing this? Don't you see how destructive this is? I think we should quit this conversation while we're ahead.
No, I think you're wrong. I'm so sorry if this is disappointing you. But this is who you married. I'm showing you the real me right now. All I want in return is to know who the hell you are.
You're really getting off on this, aren't you, Taggart?
I enjoy it even more when you're behind bars.
Ho. What's your beef with me, anyway?
No beef. I just don't like you.
No. This is something else. This is personal. What, I remind you of somebody you don't like?
Shut up, Corinthos. Get in the wagon. See you downtown.
Luke, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was being followed.
Yeah, he's sorry. That and a couple quarters get you riding a bus. You know what I'm trying to figure out is why Mac was tailing you in the first place.
He thought I was cheating on Felicia.
See, you know, that's why I said never get involved with amateurs.
The whole thing was an accident waiting to happen. I must have been out of my skull to think I could go underground this close to Port Charles with 2 kids, a dog, and a whacked-out mother-in-law. I mean, they're just trying to get that circus on a plane right now. My chances were about 1,000,000 to 1, let's face it.
Yeah, but we were close.
Yeah, close means squat in a paddy wagon.
I'll tell you, Castine really racked it up this time. Not only did he get you two, now he's got a reason to get rid of me.
Don't worry about Cassadine. In about 2 hours, he's going to be up to his bat ears in explanations. Starting with, why did he shoot Catherine Bell?
I'm the man who loves you, Brenda. Try to remember that before you say something you can't take back.
No. This is exactly what I want to be doing. I'm putting everything out on the table. See, I'm not sitting on any bombshells that are gonna blow our marriage up.
I know it was a mistake not to tell you about Miranda. I admit that. But we are way past that now.
Let me ask you something. If Miranda hadn't have come here, would you have ever told me about her?
Well, if I say yes, you won't believe me. If I say no, you'll be convinced even more that you can't trust me. It's a no-win situation.
Yeah, it's the story of my life.
Yeah, well, maybe it's time you changed your scenario. Stop buying into Sonny's paranoia before it destroys us.
What? Wait a minute. Why are you trying to turn this whole thing around? This doesn't have anything to do with Sonny.
Oh, the hell it doesn't. He deliberately, he found Miranda, he brought her here to break us up. Don't let him do it, Brenda.
How am I supposed to do that?
Forget about her.
How am I supposed to forget about her when she is still here? Just waiting for something to go wrong between us so she can pick up the pieces, right?
Well, it won't happen if you don't let it.
You are so naive when it comes to her. Are you aware of that? Do you realize that every step that girl has taken has been calculated since she came here? No, Jax. She did not let you go because of the explosion. She used that explosion to tie you to her forever. Why can't we, hey, let's just put it all out in the open. Can't we just say it? She still wants you. I know it. You know it.
Oh, please, Brenda, stop. You know, I can't hear any more of this.
Why is it that no matter what happens, Miranda comes out smelling like a rose and I end up looking like the shallow one?
I'm trying to be fair.
Well, I don't feel like being fair right now. Can't you tell that? I am in love with you, and if you think that I'm gonna stand by and play by some stupid
that's it.
rules
You know what? I give up.
because she's
give up.
manipulating you. You think that she is so perfect, don't you? Well, guess what? Nobody's perfect, Jax. I'll prove to you that nobody's perfect.
Did you ever think of going to the police for help, Mr. Spencer?
No. Police have never been any help to me, especially with the Cassadines. And I knew that Stephen Cassadine was planning to kill my wife and her mother. Hell, he almost pulled it off.
When was that?
Don't you read the papers? He lured Laura to the building where he was keeping her mother. He got her to go inside. And like seconds later, the building blew up.
That went on the books as an accident caused by a gas leak.
It was deliberate. The only accident was that I found out and was able to get there and get my wife out before the explosion. And I was only able to do that because Stephen Cassadine was so arrogant that he had the whole thing as a computer game. He had the location of my mother-in-law encoded. And my son and I were able to figure it out in time. I got there, I got my mother-in-law and my wife out just before the blast. Then I decided the best way to keep everybody safe was to make everybody think that they were dead. Okay, and that's it. You know the rest.
Oh, you made your big decision at that point?
Yeah, I'm a spontaneous kind of guy.
Wow. That's a pretty elaborate plan there, Mr. Spencer. Who helped you set it up? Corinthos?
Nobody helped me set it up. It was an improvisation, born out of desperation.
You mind telling me how you managed to improvise two dead bodies, desperately or otherwise, one of them wearing your wife's wedding ring? The bodies in that fire were burned beyond recognition. The only form of ID was a ring found on one of the bodies with the inscription, I love this part, Laura and Luke. You see, since The corpses weren't Laura Spencer's or her mother's. That means that 2 bodies, along with the ring, had to be placed there before the fire, which means premeditation, which blows your spontaneous moment of truth theory right out of the water.
Oh. It's frightening the way that man's mind works, isn't it?
Cassadine? Mm-hmm. You wanted the whole world to believe that your wife and your mother-in-law were dead, but you didn't arrange for the ring to be placed on the body and the body to be placed in the building. Give me a break.
Detective, my wife's wedding ring is on her finger. Check it. And as far as I know, the only person who ever made people think somebody was dead, namely Leslie Weber, and provided a body for the occasion, was Stephen Cassadine. It's his M.O.
When you were apprehended, both Mr. Corinthos and Dr. Hardy were clearly in on the scheme.
Yeah, but I didn't call them until after that night. I got a hold of Tom when I got to Rochester because I needed a professional opinion about Leslie's illness. And I called Sonny because I needed help to get my family out of the country. Now, he was advising me to go to the police when Commissioner Scorpio showed up.
Is that so? Well, you know, that might mitigate in your favor with the judge when you brought up for charges on aiding and abetting a fugitive.
If I'm being accused of a crime, making any statements without my attorney present would be ill-advised.
Well, he's here. We're just running a check on him to make sure he's in good standings with the Bar Association.
You know, that sounds like a violation of Mr. Corinthos' rights.
Oh, that's good, Tom. That'll stop him cold.
Well,
You see, Mr. Corinthos thinks he has rights the rest of us don't have, like the right to run drugs, racketing, gambling operations, the right to harbor a wanted man.
Hold it. Wait a minute. I'm the wanted man here. Don't jump on him. Especially when I already told you who's guilty of what I'm accused of.
Well, that may very well be. All right? But it does not change the fact that Corinthos was preparing to transport a fugitive out of the country.
I told you I asked him for help, and he advised me against it.
hey, what? This is getting ridiculous here. You can see there's a possibility that Cassadine pulled the trigger on Catherine and Bell. Why don't you pull him in for questioning and see what
You're
happens?
missing the point, Tom. Detective Taggart doesn't give a damn who did what to whom. All he wants is to take me down and put me away. Ain't that right, Detective Taggart?
You probably think a lot of people are out to get you, Corinthos, and, you know, you're probably right. If it's not the law, it's another mobster. It's a tough life, man.
I appreciate the sympathy.
Can we get on with this, Detective?
What's the rush? You're not going anywhere.
No, but I thought maybe you might have some police work to do.
You know, the best cop I ever knew gave me some advice once. He said a good cop always keeps his eye on the evidence. The evidence in this case, especially what I've been able to see with my own eyes, keeps leading me back to the 3 gentlemen in this room.
It's great you've got an open mind.
What if the cop isn't as good as he thinks he is? And he's not smart enough to know when he's beating a dead horse.
I'll be right back.
We'll be right here.
Nothing to worry about, gentlemen.
You've been in lockup overnight before, haven't you, Corinthos?
Like rolling off a log.
The whole thing will be over by morning. You'll be out. I guarantee it. This case of Taggart's is a house of cards. It's about to fall.
Overnight's not a problem with me, you know. I'll be fine.
I thought we'd hear from Mac by now with some news.
He's taking care of your family. He's been making some arrangements, but as soon as I see my lawyer, I'll have my people sent over to guard them.
Well, I'm gonna need you in here a while longer, Mr. Spencer. Alone. The two of you are gonna spend the night in a holding cell.
No, wait. How many times do I gotta tell you? I want to see my lawyer.
No. Calm down. Sonny, if he checks out, we might set up an appointment in the morning.
I want to make my call now.
That goes for me, too.
Slate, your lawyer's probably asleep by now.
I said now.